in a world obsessed with speed? What if your greatest strength was stillness, not inaction, but deliberate, disciplined calm, the kind that reshapes your soul, one breath at a time? The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. In a world racing forward with unrelenting speed, where every second demands attention and every headline screams urgency, the idea of stillness can feel foreign, almost dangerous. We are told to act, to respond, to produce. But in doing so, we risk forgetting the quiet power that lives beneath all motion, the stillness of the soul. Stoicism is not an escape from life, it is a return to life on your own terms. It teaches us not to react to the chaos, but to meet it with intention. It urges us not to seek applause, but to seek alignment. And through this discipline of stillness, we begin to shape a life not ruled by impulse, but governed by wisdom. Let us walk slowly now through 12 Stoic disciplines, not as rigid rules, but as reminders. Each one is a gentle turning of the soul back to its rightful posture. Each is a practice in becoming. 1. Control what is yours alone. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Epictetus. The winds will rise, the world will shift without your consent. You cannot stop it, but you can choose your response. And in that choice lies your kingdom. This is where the Stoic lives, not in fantasy, not in regret, but in the sacred ground of self-governance. What is beyond you, release like smoke. What is within you, tend like fire. 2. Let obstacles become the path. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius. Pain is not the end of your story. It is the forge that refines you. Every hardship bears within it the seed of transformation. To resist it is to suffer. To confront it is to grow. What blocks your path is not there to stop you. It is there to shape you. 3. Return to the present. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. Marcus Aurelius. The past is smoke. The future is fog. The only clear place is now this breath, this step, this silence. When we return to the present, we reclaim our life. For nothing real exists outside this moment. And when we live here fully, we are free. 4. Discipline the self. No man is free who is not master of himself. Seneca. Discipline is not punishment, it is devotion. It is choosing long-term alignment over short-term comfort. It is rising when it's easier to rest. It is speaking truth when silence would be safer. And it is doing so not for show, but for the integrity of your own soul. Freedom is not found in escape. It is found in mastery. 5. Strengthen emotional fortitude. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Emotions come like storms, unexpected, forceful, and brief. To feel is not to fail, but to be ruled by feeling, that is enslavement. The Stoic feels deeply and yet moves deliberately. You are not your anger. You are not your fear. You are not your despair. You are the calm beneath the storm. 6. Remember, you will die. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Marcus Aurelius. Memento mori. Remember death. This is not a morbid exercise. It is a clarifying one. Death strips away illusion. It silences the trivial. And in its presence, only what matters remains. Let this awareness guide your choices, not with fear, but with reverence. Every breath is a gift. Every word, a legacy. Practice daily gratitude. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. Seneca. Gratitude is not reserved for grand moments. It lives in the smallest things: a sunrise, a quiet room, a deep breath, a kind word. It reminds us that what we have is enough. That joy is not a destination, it is a decision. When we stop chasing what we lack, we begin to cherish what we hold. 8. Pursue virtue over vanity. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. We live in a world obsessed with appearances. But the Stoic asks not how things look, but how they are. Do not live for likes. Live for integrity. Do not seek validation. Seek virtue. To be good is not to be praised. It is to be faithful to what is right, even in the absence of reward. 9. Detach from external praise. He who is too much occupied in defending his reputation rarely thinks of improving it. Seneca. What others think of you is not your concern. Let the world speak. Let them misunderstand you. Their words are theirs. Your peace is yours. You were not born to perform. You were born to live quietly, truly deeply. 10. Flow with change. Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny. Marcus Aurelius. Nothing is permanent. Change is not the enemy. It is the sculptor of your becoming. What falls away is not lost, it is cleared. What ends is not failure, it is transformation. Meet change like water meets stone, not with resistance, but with grace. 11. Extend compassion without condition. What brings no benefit to the hive brings none to the bee. Marcus Aurelius. Even in a hardened world, kindness remains the highest form of strength. Compassion is not weakness, it is wisdom in action. Behind every cruelty is pain. Behind every silence is longing. So speak gently, act generously, and let your heart remain soft even when the world turns cold. 12. End each day in reflection. Review your actions. Where did you do well? Where did you falter? What remains to be improved? Epictetus. Reflection is not self-criticism, it is self-honesty. The examined day becomes the guide for tomorrow. Ask quietly. Did I live with courage? Did I speak with truth? Did I honor my values? And if not, begin again. Growth is not made in leaps, but in still, honest steps. The world celebrates movement, noise, and speed. But in silence, we become powerful. In stillness, we become clear. In self-governance, we become free. Stoicism is not a theory. It is a practice, a way of walking, speaking, thinking, and being. It teaches us that strength begins in surrender. Wisdom begins in pause. Joy begins in enough. You do not need to wait to be ready. You do not need to wait for permission. Begin now. Begin small. Begin in stillness. Not for legacy, but for truth. Not for recognition, but for inner alignment. To live a good life, we have the potential for it. If we learn to be indifferent to what makes no difference. Marcus Aurelius. And in that stillness, you will not merely survive, you will rise. If this reflection has stirred something within you, consider joining us on the path of inner strength and quiet wisdom. Subscribe to the Stoic Shine and let timeless philosophy guide your modern life.